All right. Have a
Right.
good
Good
show,
morning,
man.
everyone. This is Michael Venezia, head trader at Tradeview Markets, Monday morning. You know what that means. The most amount of data that I put out usually is pretty dynamic as it rolls throughout the week. And I'm going to go through it right now very quickly. A lot going on. I want to point out that the biggest thing going on this week is the bond auction going up tomorrow, which is Tuesday afternoon. RSI, Paul, going hit an 85 rating and smashed it straight down. I know in this type of market, Paul, as I digress, trading RSI is a little bit difficult. I'm the biggest. That's why I'm surprised that Paul said reached out and said an RSI was overbought, not your type of trade. I do it all the time. I'm doing it now on Boyle, but if Paul's doing something outside the box, probably worth noting. Coach very active this morning, more active than usual. Okay, so let me go in here. I posted last evening. Most important is the bond auction tomorrow. Like I said, the last time that the CPI came out, the market that was the bottom, by the way. As I will go to the market, that CPI number, and I've done several videos of this. Where was this reversal? The reversal right here. Look, it's 1 minute. I'm looking. So what the hell's going on here? CPI number right here was a CPI number, and the bond auction came right after that. So be careful. That's what's going to move the market most of all. I post videos about Kramer saying it, Wall Street Journal articles about it, the Jesus feed about it. So be aware and be tactical, please. Okay. Look at this. You can get my video that I'm doing right now and get Coach on the right hand side playing picture in picture real time. That's some cool stuff. I digress. All right. So listen, Coach always says it, and it's typical of this year. You're getting into maybe 2.5 weeks of trading, if you will, as we approach get into the middle of December. Usually it's a good season for small caps. You know what? Seasonality has been the theme of this year. A lot of seasonality themes have been playing and surprising people. So if it works, keep doing it until it doesn't. Uh, so coach says, you're not going to make your year in the last 2 weeks. I mean, maybe if you're up or down a fraction, part of me that's good. But if you're in a precarious position, up or down, you know what I mean. It took you long enough to get here. Don't do anything egregious. You know what I mean. Good evening. Close out strong, busy week of data as we always start with Helene. Like I said, I'm going to scroll through this carefully, and I'm not going to dissertate about every single picture. I just want to go over this because if anybody missed this, you can't. We put out so much data in the room. By the time tomorrow, you won't be able to scroll back and see and go all through Monday's data. So I'm going to go through this slowly again to repeat. And if anybody does you can miss it. You can go to the Red YouTube channel and play my video again. Again, Coach already getting 76 views in an hour. 1,100 views. The Steve Rocco. Steve Rocco. How about me and Coach? We do okay. 260, 398. All right, go back and watch it. Okay. All right, busy week of data. This is the SPX, net sentiment. Global CTAs are now most long equities in 8 years. You know what that's called? Typical, but it's expected. Bull and Bear indicator of Bank of America jumps to 3.8 from 2.7. Biggest weekly jump in give or take 11 years. So everybody's in the pool to a degree. I mean, everybody's Bitcoin. Interesting. Dow Jones has traded screen for 6 weeks, longest winning streak in 6 years. That's posted your stream, Mike. Thanks a lot, Coach. Uh, appreciate the help. Not the help, the teammate. I meant my commodities mentor. Hell of, and by the way, I have a large pool of mentors if I want to choose from. Seriously. Okay. Largest 2-year Treasury short position in history. This is the playbook for this week. Monday, what's going on? Volatility watch. Yeah, coin's volatile today. Mara's volatile today. Never look at this was coach's trade. Never hit a new high on coin. While Mara was going nuts. Riot was making new highs. But coin, the best of breed, as it did that proverbial double top or whatever coach wants to call it, building in it. That was the best of breed, didn't make new highs. Listen, I'm not gonna lie, I had Mara overnight. I didn't have a lot. I knew I would have to work hard. I covered it poorly. I covered it, what I covered? I covered like 15.30. That's what happens in a contra trade. You're so happy that you're up in a position that went against you, that you never make it for the meat of the trade. That's why short lower and buy higher. That's what the algos do. They buy higher and they short lower. Why not? At least you know. Mara breaking low. Okay. Here's the JCI earnings watch. Friday. Energy. They're out of the pool. Here you go. And by the way, just James Lavish, one of the sharpest guys out there. Most investors will be focused on CPI and PPI this week, but the real event will be on Tuesday, the 30-year bond auction. Believe me, I didn't make this up. I'm not trying to, be sexy or fancy or telling you, oh, I know something everybody doesn't know. The real number is the bond, is the auction, all right? And preceding it is the CPI. So be aware. It's a major, major market mover. Trust me. They're already here. Here's my screen now. They're already starting to rotate as the futures come in. They're DocuSign. My God, look at Avago. See, that's what happens when I go up. Then I get distracted. New share. Where's my freaking screen? Here's my share here. Avago. Semis. Here's Intel. Ripping. SMCI going the other way. Nevada is going the other way today. It's a bifurcated chip market. So here, they're doing a lot. Here's Meta's down 12. Google's down 3. Microsoft's down 5. Apple's down 3. See a guy named Dale Pinkert for that. Amazon, see a guy named Dale Pinkert for that. Tesla, still yet to be determined. But, you're having Intel ripping. This Avago semi, which is the old Broadcom, flying. Stocks are doing well. Saba breaking out on Etsy, still going up now at resistance. Macy's had to take out offer. So there are things to do, and that's why the VIX is so low. So when the VIX is so low, I wouldn't be expecting, I sound like a broken record, too many reversals. If there's a spike, which you want to see a spike, but there's not going to be a spike because it's calm. Everybody wants Apple and Microsoft and Google to pull back. All right, General Motors, all right, had a little pullback, blah, blah, blah. Oils are acting appropriately as they should, considering the market. Low floaters are going. This JTAI, I said in the room 14 times today. I'm not in it, but it's my job to tell you what's going on. Para was active. Earnings this week. Credit default swaps, not a problem. Financial conditions, boom, improving. Things are loosening up. Be careful. They're loosening up too fast that the Fed might have to say, easy, guys. Take it easy. Be careful. And that's why that bond auction on Tuesday, as well as the numbers, is going to be I don't care if it's buy the rumor, sell the news, buy the dip, whatever it is. That price action this Tuesday, maybe on the, it might shake out people on the shorter term, but longer term, meaning like Thursday, you'll have a feeling of maybe what's going on the day after, or Wednesday. Let's keep going here. That's my plan, man. You know what I mean? Big movers, a list, double click to enlarge. These are the things that moving. Para, no surprise. Para and Mara, AFRM, Lyft, ARM. These are the stocks that are in play. I don't post, it's not like I'm not trying to fill up this feed with just to fill things up and take up room. ARM, the new IPO, if you will, in play. What else? Mara, Lucid was in play. Affirm, I'm shorted actually. I don't want to look at it. DocuSign, bad short, Mike V. How did this not work? DocuSign and Zoom's down today. Actually Zoom was down. What happened to Zoom? Zoom is down today. I thought where's Zoom? ZM right here. Zoom is down on the day. Zoom. So DocuSign. I showed a little Docu. Had a $7 range on. I'm okay. My average price is what? Here it is. 50.76. Actually, that's where I'm covering it. My average price is that green line. I'll show you my average price. I'm short too much of it though. I think I'm short like 5,000 of it. 5,600 from 50.82. I liked it because it went through it had this rally on Friday from 44, stopped at the 200-day over 50, stopped people out at the 50, the whole number for the Friday, and dipped below and closed below the 50, the 200-day. I thought it was a decent spot. Yes, as it went through the 50, I probably should have taken it off right here, but I proceeded to reshort it. So my price is what? 50.82, considering the fact it went from 43 to 53. $9, give or take 9. I need one more dollar. I'm not going to be stingy about it. I do think it pulls back, but it's got the 200-day of support. So, right church, wrong pew. I'm certainly not going to let it go against me in a major way. I'm down, what, 80 cents in it, and you know what? Whatever. Not whatever. I'm gonna get, I'll show you where my bids are right here. My bids are this blue line, 50.72, to cover a bunch. Those are my, I should probably, why is it 50? I should probably raise it. 6-minute chart. Coach is gonna ask me why I use a 6-minute, I know. Yeah, that's fair. You know what? What are you gonna do? All right, so DocuSign. By the bottom line is stock's in play. It's got range and it's got volume. On the downside, the same. Spies, it's up to you. It's a 3 drive. If I ever saw one, I don't think so, right, Coach? Is there such thing as a 4 drive? There's a 4. I know on a 4th day down, you don't want to go 4th day down. It usually goes 5th. So looking at NASDAQ break this week, the upcoming week is one of the lowest win rates for the NASDAQ this week. Similar, in this, what do you call that? Seasonality, HCP. Look at this thing. I bought this HCP at 1924 on Friday. They shook me out like a piker, hashish. Look at this on a Friday. Right there in 15 minutes. HCP, Friday. Stock was 1925. Now it's 20. It took all the same thing, the inverse. Took the pain on the bottom, didn't hold it for the meat of the trade. Now I'm starting to get aggravated here. I'm only kidding, but that does aggravate. I just had too many things to do, and that's my fault. All right, let's get back to business. Paul posted your stream, Mike. Thank you. What are we doing here? What is it with stocks? Let's look at the wise guys. Affirm lows. I'm short a firm, and I'm short a lot of it. I'm short 8,000, and I'm up 15,000 in a firm. How's that, Mike V? I'll cover 6,800 at the market. That was nice. We made a little money in a firm there. Made like 20,000 in a firm. Now what's Square doing? I had Square short. Lewis, I gave the Square. Square, same thing. I thought the Square was going to do the same thing as DocuSign. Hit that 70 strike, but I didn't have as much Square. Square, I shorted all here. 70.13 all the way to 69. I covered it some micro gap, some piker micro 2-minute gap at 69. Now it's 68.5. But a firm. Bitcoin lows. It was AMD. I'm short that too. I'm not going to lie. AMD, I'm short 2,400. I'm up in that. So they're pulling back a little bit. Might have to go soon. What else am I short? DocuSign, that can come in. What else am I short? Oh, Gap Stores. I took that off, thank God. Macy's still going. A&F, there it is. I'm short 4,000 A&F at 80.14. Right now it's 81.13. I can't believe I'm short this. And I'm going to get out of it right after I get there. Right after I get them. You bastard. I don't, opinion over price action. I don't think I've seen an A&F shirt on anybody in a long time. Bitcoin lows, look at the wise guys. Because they're the most important as it gets a little bit later in the afternoon. AMSC, Amazon bullish, that's a hedge. Google bull, you know what? Maybe not. Maybe they're going back into these things. Amazon bullish, I can't see how that's bullish. Somebody's hedging on this thing. I can't see how this chart short term at this level is bullish. Now it actually looks worse than it did the other day. And it's rolling over. It's RSI, Amazon. Somebody's hedging there in a nice Amazon. You have to be able to disseminate which are good calls and bad calls. Mike Wilson, will the Fed push back? Big deal. Goldman liquidity, I'll post it later. Veritex, Tal, Tesla, MOR. This thing's a ripper. Oh, what happened here? I'm whining. I'm getting highlighted. That's what more or less. MOR. Something goes to 4 and 8. I'm interested. You know, how about this SYM? Robotics. Another good chart. More. It's even the bright yellow highlighter, not even the one that's worn out. All right, next. I'm going to wrap up here shortly because we got still a firm short. I'm only kidding. Cisco bearish. All right, these were pre-market. Goldman Sachs calls. Goldman Sachs calls. Taking a little breather here. Citibank took a breather too, Lewis. But you know what? They're just waiting to back it up. JP and the boys. JP and the boys. You're not going to know if that's a double top until here. It's until it's too late. Believe me, you can't. All right, that's a good mark. God forbid the VIX was at 20. I can't believe the moves these things are making, and the VIX is at 13, whatever the hell it is. Affirm bullish, Corp bearish, Cenex aluminum. I saw that before. But you know what? It doesn't matter because they shook me out of these Alcoa calls, and Alcoa is a dog. And I know Alcoa the coach and I had this discussion 3 years ago, Cenex against Alcoa. I don't know why I'm talking. I might as well get my Kodak on my screen. I'm trading Alcoa. Unusual volume and Maxon. See this Maxon? That's a solar stock. And that thing's beat up. And I don't even care what's going on. Maxon. All right, see that this is most important because I'm going to stop dissertating. Because right now you get the picture stocks moving. Let's go to the feed. Order slow, getting really sloppy. And you know what? It's a Monday afternoon and it is a holiday season. I'm going to be here. I don't really put much credence in holiday seasons, but I think what I'm seeing, and this is edified by the Jesus flow and the rest of my peers, some of the liquidity is drying up a touch, so be careful. So Avago, let's keep our eyes on winners today. Avago, what's the VIX is up 3%? That's wrong, is it? The VIX just popped? It can't be. The VIX is on the low. That's wrong. Down 3%. Any questions, gents? It's one of those weeks. Let's look at my right here. Uber, still going. What a stock. It's in the S&P 500. Probably ends on Friday with the big rebalance. Let's look what's going on there. Starbucks on the Jesus flow. I bought this see this right here at the gap. I bought it that day. I sold it. Then it never made the new low. And the first low is never the first low. The first low is never the last low. Starbucks taking a little bit of calls, not interested. What's happening here? IWM 186 puts, the best futures trader I know. Mark 186 puts. Here's the chart. They're not doing much, but 186 puts. Big deal. At least they're not 180 puts. Okay. What else? Gold over 2000s. Bull's praying that FOMC bull is under 2000. Jesus. I don't even know might be. What is it right here? I cheated. I was out that day. Or I cheated. It was the alligator, the big mouth eats 2000. It means it's lesser. Yeah. So the alligator is lesser than 2000. GLD chart. My God. Coach got it again. That day was the top. If anybody remembers that day that happened in the middle of the night, GC did that up 2% and had it that day. And I'm glad Coach learned something from me, if I will, and if I can be so humble that the biggest moves are the last moves. That move right there is worse than it looked. That print was like 194, I believe. So here's GLD, and I'm not going to have an opinion because I have a colleague that probably has a very on-point opinion. And I told everybody that I was selling. I did sell GOLD, and I did. The only one that I have left is GDX. GOLD. Thank God I sold this. Not thank God. Not even that cold. Duh. Gold. GOLD. I mean, I had a lot of it. I had 6 figures of it. 1760. It's $1. It hurts. GDX. That hurts worse. GDX. I'm going to look for what Dale Pinkert says, but you know what? I'm sure he's thinking right here. Is he on? No, he's not on yet. He should be. He's probably trading Baba, Shaq, Lily. Here's a couple of things that my feed is saying that I look at a couple of things. Nevada lows, Apple lows, dollar at the highs, or UUP at the highs, if you will. Shaq at the highs, Baba and Baidu. So they're taking up some Chinese names. Apple's at the lowest, Nevada's at the low. Shaq is on Shaq. Shaq's an SSNT. All right, M bearish. That's good. Is M pulling back a little bit? It shouldn't pull back. Uber bearish. NVO, Uber, SPYs. Things are flying. All right, I'll leave it there. It's really not. Thanks for tuning in on the late Monday morning. There's my colleague already posting with me. I appreciate that. You know what? GME, White House, US concern for White House phosphorus. You know what I mean? It's anything now is kind of I'll be admitted, even on my side with any size is forced. All right, so sit back. It's a lot to do. I have a page and a half of notes already, and it's saying a lot considering it's only a Monday morning. So if I have a page of notes, you should too. So do some homework, have a plan. Don't let your trades turn into position. If you do, definitely know what you're buying. All right, do it small, and don't average down in an egregious manner, because if the VIX does pop and things goes against you, they can escalate or cascade or whatever you want to call it, 2-3 times worse than that original position. Is that where the cliche comes in? Your smallest positions usually turn into big losers. It happens.